So I've been doing this little thing called furry conventions for about 8 years now. My first one being FWA 2016. It was a simpler time, but as all childlike wonder, it dies a horrible, horrible death. And now it's my job. Where did the time go? Since I've been doing these conventions for so long, I recently started being an assistant to the lovely Finicrafts. I thought I would sit down and rank the 9, yes folks, count them, 9 conventions I attended this year. Now before we get into it, I just want to say these are my personal rankings, and I'm not here to drag any convention, but I do have opinions on my experiences with these cons. So don't drag me in the comments, you nerds. I know what I'm talking about, kind of, maybe a little bit. Again, my personal rankings. Has nothing to do with the conventions. This is just my personal opinion. Now let's get into the con rankings of 2024, shall we? Now I know some people might be surprised with this one. And yes, it's at the bottom of my list, but let me explain. FWA 2024 was, a lot. Now, FWA was my first con ever, like I said, and I have a fondness for that year that I went, but nowadays it's too much. Oh my gosh, it's too much. This year we went as normal attendees and tried to get into the Artist Alley with no luck, sadly. So this rundown is just going to be from someone who was just attending. And let me tell you, it was not the best time. Not the best time at all. In the past, we've stayed at the main hotel, which is the Marriott. And service in the past hasn't been the best, and the crowds have been, So we tried this year not staying at the Marriott and stayed at a connecting one. I don't remember which one. It was either the Hyatt or the Hilton. I do not remember. But the problems did not change. It was still the same problem. Service was really good. The hotel service was great. But the crowds, oh boy, the crowds. To get to our rooms, elevators were not an option. We had to take about 14 flights of stairs, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I have such bad knees. The youth in my knees are non-existent, and the layout of everything was so jammed-packed. If you were out, you were going to be swept by a sea of people. I'm talking a literal sea of people. And I pride myself as an excellent swimmer, but not in a sea of people. I literally went downstairs just to go see the dealer's den, and I didn't know it had closed. And an actual sea of people came at me, and I nearly got trampled in suit. It was terrifying. It was so crowded, I could barely leave our room to go get food. You know, the stuff you have to keep you alive. Yeah, no, that stuff, non-existent, because you can't leave your room. I will say though, FWA does have the registration on point. The registration lines were the fastest I ever experienced. Instead of waiting outside for hours and hours in reg, it only took about 30 minutes, which was heavenly. And the arcade, best one by far. With walls of various DDR machines and extremely fun Japanese arcade games, you could spend hours in there. It was so fun. But due to the massive growth and, well, safety concerns of the convention, I've sworn it off, and I'm not going until they can change the venue because the amount of people in such a compact space just isn't safe for anyone. If you cannot safely get from point A to point B without having to fight your way back, it's not gonna be a good time, no matter how much fun an arcade is, or if they have free food down the hall, it's not going to be a good time. And this really sucks because this is my local con. It is the only furry con in Georgia that I know of. And I can't go to it anymore because it's just not safe or a good time to go to anymore. If you can't walk around and have fun, then what's the point? I do hope to return to FWA if they change the venue, but as far as I know, that's not going to happen for a very, very, very long time, which is very sad. But again, these are my opinions, and I still do have a fondness for FWA in my heart, but that's why it is on the bottom. Now that the bad boys out of the way, most of these are going to be pretty tame because either not a lot happened or I don't have a lot to say about what happened at them. The next one is Golden State Fur Con, which was all the way in LA, California. Which, it was a pretty good convention, but the location was... it's LA. It's LA. What can I say? It's LA. This was a con that we were dealers at, and the dealer's den was great. Lots of great people. We saw some familiar faces, which was fine, you know. And the flight over there was, you know, a standard flight. It was pretty long and very expensive because we're on the opposite side of the USA. So it wasn't that bad, but I need an explanation. Why is LA so expensive? Oh my gosh. A cup of yogurt. Count it. A cup of yogurt. $12. $12 for a cup of yogurt. Granted, it was at the hotel, but why was it $12? Even my friends who live in California came down to the con to see me, which was a great experience. I love my friends. I rarely get to see them. But they were even appalled by the price of the food. And they are California residents. Not that great. Me and my friends even went out into the heart of LA to go hang out, you know, check out all the local stuff. We went to the Sonic Cafe, which was amazing. Oh my gosh, I love the Sonic Cafe. And I got like 5 chili dogs, which were not that expensive compared to the singular cup of yogurt. Singular cup of yogurt. I could have gotten like 3 chili dogs for the price of a cup of yogurt. Someone explain that math to me because I don't understand. The con itself though, great. It was fine. The staff are angels. I love the con staff to death. And with it being a smaller con, the crowds were non-existent, which was amazing compared to what just happened at FWA. My only gripe with the con was the prices of the hotel. Why? And I know you are tired of hearing me say this, but why $12 for a cup of yogurt? Please. Was it a expensive cow that made the yogurt? Please, someone explain it to me. I would love an explanation. Next one up is Texas Furry Fiesta, and this is one I've gone to multiple times before. Nothing really good or bad happened in it, but it was just a standard good con with great staff and a pretty good atmosphere. I will say though, the drive was terrible this year. We've driven to TFF before, and the 12-hour drive isn't too bad, but this year, my car decided not to have working air conditioning. No AC in Southern Spring with traffic. 12 hours. No AC. And before you say...
Well, Suji, just take a different car with AC.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're right, random viewer. I should just take a different car with AC.
Okay. So, you gonna finish the video or what? Uh-oh.
With my car being the only vehicle we could use, suffering through 90-degree weather was our only option. And that's 9 degrees Fahrenheit for everyone, mind you. Have you ever had swamp butt with a leather car seat? Terrible. Awful. I swear the water bottles we had in the car all evaporated and started a freaking water cycle in the car. It was so bad. But other than the drive there and back, yes, there and back, I would recommend it, honestly. No huge seas to sweep you up and never see again. And Artist Alley is run very effectively and smoothly. So for all you artists out there, it's pretty good. I would highly recommend trying for Artist Alley at TFF. And it's just an overall good mid-sized con. Next one up is Denfur. Alright, so this was my first time attending Denfur, let alone selling at it as a dealer with my good pal Finicrafts. And I didn't really have any expectations going into it, but oh man, it was one of the best cons to deal at. I'm not talking about sales, which were fine if I remember correctly, but I'm talking about the staff. The AIOU dealer staff is the best of the best who actually treat their dealers good. I'm talking a dealer's lounge with snacks and drinks and a place to finish work and wind down. Not to mention a staff that will body someone for you and treat you like a human being who needs water and bathroom breaks. They actually fed us with snacks, of course, and actual food, and had coffee on standby because we need caffeine to survive, let's be honest. I've attended a handful of the AIOU cons, but this one took the cake when it came to the dealers. I love the staff. I love them so much. They deserve the world. And a freaking vacation, my god. If any staff is watching, I doubt it, but if you are watching, please take a vacation. You deserve it, and thank you for taking care of us. The con itself was good. We didn't get to do much other than sell, but the hotel and the travel was nice, so good con. Staff, I love you. Please, oh my god, staff, you were amazing. Okay, this is my 3rd year going to Megaplex, and what can I say? It's a solid con. There's always stuff to do around the convention. My only con of the con... Get it, con of the... Okay, who cares? My only con is, why is the dealer's den so far away? Oh my gosh! The den was located on the total opposite side of the convention center, so making the trek hungover after a night of partying, which we also went to an amazing alien themed party, which was so sick. I love you guys, you know who you are. It wasn't the best making that trek. And I know the convention center only has like one big room to accommodate all the dealers, but I can't help but complain about it. But the con is so high on this list because it's legit the only one I have really good memories of. Well, not the only one, but sales were good, staff was great, I got to hang out with my friends, and there's tons of stuff to do around Orlando, Florida. You could go to Disney, you can go to Universal, you can just stay at the convention because you're scared to go outside, which is perfectly fine. And the convention has a lot of stuff to do too, so it's just all around a good con. Another first-time con for me was Furry Takeover, a small little convention in the mountains of North Carolina, which was pretty close to us, so we were happy to go. The drive up was a bit scary though. With a hurricane right up our butts, and taking a road called the Dragon's Tail, which is known for its winding mountain roads, was a lot, and taking it up in a big boy truck was definitely not smart of us. Oopsies. The drive up was well worth it though. The gorgeous mountain lodges and cabins surrounding the con venue was just a nice getaway. And the con was so small that it felt like just a big party with a bunch of people with the same interests as you. And the people and staff were so down to earth. At this con, we hosted some panels, being Pass the Parcel and Color Your Own Plush, which were so much fun to host and be a part of. And come on, a camping-themed furry convention with campfires at night with marshmallows and hot dogs every night? Like, come on, how great is that? Also, we got to tie-dye shirts. The true camping experience. The internet did go down though, due to the hurricane, but that didn't stop us from having a good time. Honestly, we probably needed to step away from the cursed world of the web and take in the mountains. And if you're a car person, this is definitely the car con for you. Lots of people bring their cars up the Dragon's Tail, which, you know, that thing I talked about with lots of winding roads that people like to race up on their bikes and cars. Yeah, the car con. I will definitely be back next year, and hopefully it won't be during a hurricane. I can't really control that, but we'll see. We'll see. Ah yes, the big boy con of Midwest Furfest, which is the most recent one I've attended as a dealer and attendee. It was our first time going, and we didn't really have any clue what we were getting ourselves into. And I'm here to tell you, it was a good time. The sales were great. The dealer's den was huge, and it never felt overcrowded or anything. We definitely weren't expecting the sky bridge from the hotel to the convention center to be a whole journey hauling 8 bags. I legit felt like I was going on a quest. I definitely feel for my boys Sam and Frodo trekking all the way to Mount Doom. Yes, I did just make a Lord of the Rings reference. Sue me. After our journey to Mount Doom, I mean the dealer's den, everything went pretty smoothly. Yeah, everything went fine, other than some YouTuber running around harassing dealers, because why not? Speaking of YouTubers, I met Jaden Animations. Yeah, that happened. I still can't believe it to this day. Like, I've never met a quote-unquote famous person before, and let me just say, I was so cool about it and totally didn't nearly have a heart attack and shake violently asking, "Hey, Miss Animations, can I take a picture?" I was totally cool. Also, the restaurant in the hotel has really good chicken wings. We ordered at least 5 plates of them. We ate so many chicken wings, it was so good. Oh man, we are almost done with this big old list. Thank God I'm getting tired. Anthrocon, you love it, you dream it, you go to it? I don't know, I'm running out of ideas. We've been going to this con for several years now, and we love it every time. But this was our first time selling there, and, well, it was basically the same thing. Just a really good time. You can't go wrong with this con. I mean, the whole city gets into it, and it feels like a giant furry convention. Not just in the convention center, but if you walk outside of it, you feel like you never left. It's just so nice. I've never seen so much love for furries anywhere else. It feels safe and homey knowing you can go out and get smiles and hugs, and it's just so nice. Registration was a bit slow though. I feel so sorry for my friends who had to wait 8 hours to get registered. Some say they're still in the line to this day. You'll be missed. This convention also had another first for me. I went to my first meet and greet by myself. Listen, that's a big deal for me because I'm just a little baby who needs my personal adult with me 24/7, or else I will cry and possibly get lost because I have no sense of direction because, again, I'm just a little guy. The meet and greet was so much fun. Being in a trash circle was the best, and getting compliments on my very first suit I made by myself was very validating. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this whole year, I was my possum character Mush. Though it's a good suit and very comfy to wear, I need to make a new Suji so bad. Hopefully putting this in the video will force me to make it, and I'll be able to run around as myself and not a trash-loving little freak. Now I know what you're thinking. What the heck is a quadifer? Well, let me tell you, it's the best con, must go, 10 out of 10. I'm going again, you can't stop me. I need to go, it's the best con ever. Sorry about that. Now, this con is a special one for us because we were guest of honor. Well, I wasn't. Finnecat was. But hey, I work for her, so I'm there too. And I'm attached to her 24/7. We also hosted a number of panels when we maxed out capacity for color your own plush and pass the parcel, which is something that has never happened for that con. And our room was huge and so lovely. The AEIOU staff were back at it again, being amazing. And with a smaller con like this, we got to really hang out with them. And let me tell you, you won't find a harder working group of people that were sent down by the furry gods. Oh my god. Did I mention the hotel is just the back rooms? I didn't? Well, yeah, it's just the back rooms. And it has a water park, which is tied to your registration when you stay at the con. So water park in the dead of winter is definitely a must. Go to a quadifer. This is a threat. Not really. It's not a threat. Unless you want it to be a threat, then I guess it's a threat, but it's not a threat. Just go to a quadifer, please. It's so good and nice. It needs more people. Please go to a quadifer. It is just the best. And that's it. That's all the furry conventions I went to this year. A very stacked lineup. I'm very tired from all the travel, but I can't say I didn't enjoy it. Next year, I probably won't be going to a lot of conventions, but I'm kind of glad. Traveling takes a lot out of you, and it's a lot to go to this many conventions. But let me know, how was your con year? Did you go to any conventions? Were any of them good? Or any of them bad? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you later.